Hey everybody, thank you so much for being patient with me yesterday. I was in bed all day with a really bad migraine and it's mostly gone now, so I'm playing catch up today. So just want to say thank you for being patient with me. And thank you so much for all of the comments on all of my posts. I love that you guys are posting your own stuff in the group as well and sharing what you're doing with your workouts and your nutrition and sharing inspiring quotes. I just absolutely love that. So keep that up. The more active our group is, the more engagement we have, the more fun it'll be and the more that we will all get from it. So please keep doing that. So today I'm talking about step 3 in losing that first 10 pounds, last 10 pounds, or getting off a plateau. So quick review. First step was getting into the right mindset. Mindset is most important. It's number one. Without having the right mindset, you won't be successful over the long term. And you'll continue to do this yo-yo dieting and struggling all the time. Step 2 was dialing in your nutrition. So that's the second most important thing, because if your nutrition is not dialed in, if you're not honestly assessing what you're eating day to day and throughout the week, then you're not going to reach your goals either. And nutrition is probably the hardest one for all of us. And it's also the one that we're less conscious about, and we let a lot of little things slip into our diet that add up over time, over the day, over the week. And next thing you know, you're the exact same weight because you had extra calories in your diet, or maybe you gained some weight. So nutrition is most important as well. Like I said, abs are made in the kitchen, and that's very, very true. I've hit lots of plateaus in my weight loss because of my binge eating, and it wasn't until I recovered from binge eating that I've had the most awesome results from my nutrition when I got that dialed in. That's how I lost, I've lost about 25 pounds in the last 2 months, and I attribute most of that to dialing in my nutrition. That doesn't mean I'm not enjoying food, because I'm still enjoying food. My husband went and got me Wendy's French fries last night because I didn't feel like eating anything and I was nauseous, and something bland sounded really good. But because I don't do that all the time, it's not going to really impact my results. And we went on this trip to an all-inclusive resort and we indulged, but it's not something we do all the time. So you can still, even though I say dial in your nutrition, it doesn't mean you have to be 100% on point. It means that you eat a good balance of your different food groups, and you have treats in moderation once a week, not every day, because every day adds up. And then you'll start to get really awesome results. And then, like I've been stressing, it's really important to be honest with yourself about what you're eating. It's really easy to say, well, 3 M&Ms doesn't really matter, or an extra scoop of this doesn't really matter, even though I'm not still hungry and we're eating bigger portions. That's all really, really important. So once you get those 2 things dialed in, your mindset, you're working on that, you're working on your nutrition, now it's time to think about your fitness and your workouts. The thing is, are you really on a plateau? That's something you have to think about when you're thinking about your mindset, your nutrition, and your fitness. Are you really on a plateau? Is what you're doing really not working? Can you honestly look back on the last 2 weeks and say, or any time period of 2 weeks recently, and say that you had quality sleep, proper nutrition, and proper exercise? If you can't say that you've not been able to maintain that for more than 2 weeks, and it doesn't mean, all these little things that we like to sneak in and have excuses about, dialed in nutrition, good sleep, and hard exercise for 2 weeks straight. If you haven't been able to do that, you're not really on a plateau. You need to work on the different things that you're struggling with, and that's going to get you back to losing weight again. So like I always do, I always have notes because I tend to get off track if I don't keep myself in line. And then the next thing I wanted to talk about was, one thing I noticed a lot in your comments about fitness is that a lot of you are saying that you don't have time to work out, and a lot of you are saying that you just feel exhausted every day, all day, and the last thing you want to do is work out. So with regards to feeling exhausted all the time, I've been there. I understand that. The last thing you want to do is add something else to your plate. And it's really tough in the first 2 to 3 weeks. It depends on your starting point and who you are and how fast you recover. But in the first 2 to 3 weeks, it can be so hard to get up and get in that workout every single day, because you're going to feel tired, you're going to feel sore, your body's going through things that may have never been through or it hasn't been through in a really long time. And so you just you just feel like crap for like a couple of weeks when you start a new program. Totally normal. But what you need to do is make a commitment in your head that and shout it out loud that I'm going to get through these first 2 to 3 weeks and get past that time where working out kind of sucks and it makes you tired, it makes you ridiculously sore, and it's the last thing you want to do. If you can stick with it for 2 or 3 weeks, that's when the switch happens and you start to feel energized from your workout. The eating gets easier and you start making conscious decisions about what you're eating. Like I said, a lot of people, the food choices we make are subconscious. We don't even think about it. We don't assess it. We don't realize that we're eating out of boredom or stress. We don't realize, we don't think about how much it will impact what we're doing. If you think about one candy bar, how much of a workout does that require to get rid of that one Snickers bar or whatever? And it's usually not worth it, right? So, but eventually in a couple of weeks, you start to have a mental switch and you start to think about these different things. And then it gets easier, and it might be a struggle for 6 months. It might be a struggle for 1 month, but it's the longer you stick with it, that's when you really see the results. So many of us want our results yesterday, and we're not willing to put in the time and the work to get there. And like I said in a previous video, it didn't take you overnight to be 50 pounds overweight or wherever you're at right now. It took time to get there. And it didn't just take not exercising and eating crappy food. It took a lot of other bad behaviors surrounding those two things to get you to where you're at right now. So just commit to pushing through those first couple of weeks that are tough, and you will start to feel that energy again. And I can give you all the tools and resources to lose weight and hit your goals, but I can't lose it for you. So you have to have a mental switch, again, working on your mindset, where you realize that exercising is so important to you that it is a priority, right? So I'm going to talk about some mistakes I see people making. With cardio especially, and especially with women. We tend to go on walks, we kind of jog, we go to the gym and we use all the cardio machines, and it's like mindless cardio is what I like to call it, because it drives me insane and I get really bored with it. And I see this because sometimes I go into the gym with my program I do at home, and I like to just get into some heavier weights and things like that. And I'll see a lot of women get on an elliptical machine and do steady state cardio for like 40 minutes. Steady state is basically the same intensity, the same speed for that whole entire 40 minutes, and they're on their phones, watching TV, texting, reading a book. And so when you're doing all these other things that are distracting you, you're not really working out very hard, which is number one thing to notice. And when you do all this steady state cardio on all these different machines, or maybe you do the same machine over and over and over, it really doesn't get you the results you want. Your body gets used to it. You're not challenging yourself. You might feel like, awesome, I got in 30 minutes on the treadmill, but really you could have spent your 30 minutes on something better for a more intense workout and gotten better results and done more for your goals in that 30 minutes rather than spending it steady state cardio on a treadmill. And also, you don't want to do the same type of cardio machines all the time, because they restrict your movement and it's not really natural. Like walking on a treadmill and running on a treadmill is not natural, the way that we step, and you're not turning and you're not, going up and down sidewalks and things like that. And so certain muscles can get overused, other muscles don't get used enough, and that can cause problems as well. And so if you're a cardio lover, there's nothing wrong with that, but what you need to do is incorporate HIIT into your cardio workouts. And HIIT is high intensity interval training. If you're not doing it, you're wasting your time, basically. Because you can take a 40-minute workout, the steady state cardio, and turn it into a 15 or 20-minute HIIT workout, because it's going to kick your butt. And you're using that time much more efficiently to get better results, basically. And so how do you do that? You add in intervals. So if you're a runner, you need to mix in some sprints instead of steady state cardio. So if you're running outside, you, for example, run a couple blocks and then sprint to the next lamppost, and you run a couple blocks and sprint to the next mailbox. So you're constantly bringing up your heart rate and letting it, recover for just a little bit, and letting it up, getting it up there, and recovering for just a little bit. So for example, as a beginner, you could sprint for 15 seconds and recover at a light jog for 45 seconds to a minute. And then as you get stronger and stronger, you increase the high intensity interval and you decrease the time that you take to recover from that. If you are a cardio lover as well, you need to do some body weight strength training, or you need to incorporate some lifting. These are really important because they will protect your joints from injury that can happen when you're running all the time. It can even increase your speed if you're somebody who likes to run 5Ks or marathons. Lifting is really, really important. And personally, I love lifting. It's my favorite because I get the best results from it. Over the time that I've lost this 25 pounds in 2 months, it wasn't from doing a bunch of mindless cardio and wanting to shoot myself because I was so bored. It was from lifting mainly, and incorporating in that lifting a little bit of HIIT with like faster reps or jumping jacks or things like that. I mainly was lifting during that whole time, and that's where you get the best results, is from lifting. And you will notice if you start lifting and you're brand new to it, your muscles will retain water as they learn how to recover from that and get used to it. And so what you'll see is when you do measurements, you'll see that your inches will increase, and that just means you're retaining water and that your muscles are recovering. So totally normal. Don't freak out about that. And over time, after you've been doing it for 3 or 4 weeks, you might see your measurements creep up every once in a while, and that's because you're building some muscle underneath the layers of fat. And so with healthy eating, you decrease those layers of fat, and then your lean body comes out from underneath that. So those are some changes you can do if you're doing any sort of cardio. You need to bring some HIIT into that to make it more effective and to also save yourself some time. You don't need to be running for 60 minutes or jogging or walking at a fast pace for 60 minutes to get in a good workout. That's a waste of time. Mix in some HIITs and drop it down to 15 or 20 minutes. If you are lifting and you're not getting the results that you want, think about how heavy you're lifting. By the end of every set of, like, say, 10 reps, you want to feel like it would be impossible to do another rep with good posture, with good form. And if you feel like you couldn't do that extra rep and you need that 10-second break, then you're lifting heavy enough. And by, like, say you do 3 sets of 10, by the end of that third set, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, those last several reps should be really, really difficult to do with proper form. And that means that you're lifting heavy enough. If you could finish 3 sets of 10 and feel like, oh, I could do a whole nother set of 10 or 2 sets of 10, then you're not lifting heavy enough. And again, you're wasting your time. So you want to make sure that you're lifting really heavy and challenging yourself. If you are lifting heavy and challenging yourself with your lifting routine, you can also change up the number of reps that you do. You don't always have to do 3 sets of 10. You could do 2 sets of 20 one day. Another day, you could do 3 sets of 4, and on every 4th rep, you hold it for 4 seconds. When you change up those little things and you tweak those little things, it challenges your body in a new way and gets you back on track with making progress. You can shorten breaks, you can increase breaks, you can combine HIIT with your lifting. So you can do, your 3 sets of whatever, and then stand up and do 30 seconds of jumping jacks or 30 seconds of running in place or something. And then you do another set of reps, 3 sets of whatever, or however you're structuring it, and then do a little cardio in between at every machine, or if you're doing the free weights. And that can increase your results as well. It's really important that we continuously challenge our bodies because over time, our bodies get really efficient with whatever we're doing with our workouts. And by doing that same activity over and over and over the same way every time, your body adapts. And as it adapts, it doesn't need as many calories. It doesn't need to burn as many calories to support the energy you need for that workout. And so if you're doing the same thing all the time, your body's just getting more efficient. And so you need to change it up. You need to shock your body with something new. And you shock your body with something new with the HIIT training, with changing making heavier weights, changing up your reps and breaks and things like that. You can also try a brand new program. So a lot of times with the people that I coach, they've done the same program over and over and over, and it seems like each time they can't finish the program, or they finish it and they get bored with it, and then they try to get back on track with it, and the excitement is all gone, right? And so a lot of times we just need a new program to get excited again about our routine, because, and also maybe the routine that you did before or the program you did before wasn't really your style of fitness, and so you didn't really love it. And so if you're a cardio person, you know, we can get you on a better cardio program, try something new. If you like to lift, try a different lifting program. If you like to dance, try a different dance program that you can do at home. By changing it up, you can get excited all over again and start fresh all over again, and that can really help. And I do have a community separate from this in a mobile app where I support people with one-on-one coaching with your health and fitness goals, with meal plans and recipes and dialing in your nutrition, and getting you access to a lot of different programs that you can do from home, so that if one thing just doesn't feel like it's your jam, the next day you can try a different program until you find one that you really enjoy, and then we do that for a round. And then we change it up as you make progress, and as you make progress in your transformation, you build strength, you build endurance. As you're doing all these things, you need to change up your programs, and that's something that I can help you with. All right, so let's see here. Another thing that I saw in the comments was the word try a lot. And I used to say that word all the time. I'll try to do this, I'll try to do that. But really, try is kind of a way to be flaky and not really following through, and not really believing in yourself that you can follow through and you have the ability to do whatever it is you need to do. I think try is just kind of another way to have an excuse about something. And so what I had to do was I had to make a decision about what I was going to do. I will, or I'm going to, on Monday do this, or I will do this on Tuesday, rather than I'll try and get in my workout today, I'll try and get in my workout tomorrow. When you say it like that, you're really likely to not even do it, and most likely it's just going to not even come to you, right? You get busy with stuff and then you forget all about it. So you have to start making decisions and then taking action. And you have to look at exercise and proper nutrition, just like sleep. Sleep is really, really important for your health. Brushing your teeth is really, really important for your health. Taking a shower, that's important. You want to do that every once in a while, right? So you have to look at exercise as one of those things that are so important to your daily life and your survival. And once you start to do that and realize it is a priority, you start to make time for it, because we all have the same 24 hours in a day. There aren't some people who have more hours to do, to be able to get in the things they want to get done. We all have the same amount of hours every day, every week, every month, all year long. And we all have plenty on our plates that could be an excuse for us to not do our workouts. And so it's really important that you make a decision and you decide when is the best time to get in my workout day to day, and you make an appointment with yourself and you follow through with it. Just like you would follow through with a coffee date with a friend of yours that you haven't seen in a while. You wouldn't, stand her up, right? You wouldn't just show up because you didn't feel like it. You would go and spend time with her, or maybe your boss asked for a meeting at a specific time. You don't just not show up to a meeting with your boss. And so what you need to do is start showing up for yourself. So for most of us, the best time to work out is first thing in the morning. And I say that because throughout the rest of the day, you don't know what's going to happen. You might have specific things planned throughout the day, but then something comes up with your kids or work, or, something you didn't expect. And as a result, the rest of the day is just kind of thrown off. Chaos ensues, and then you're getting in bed that night and you realize you never worked out because you just forgot about it and life got too crazy. And so that's the biggest reason I suggest you work out in the morning, because you get it done, get it out of the way, no excuses. You're not going to miss it the rest of the day. The other reason I suggest that you work out in the morning is because it's a really awesome, positive way to start your day. You get in that workout, nobody ever regrets a workout, right? You get in that workout, you're feeling awesome, you're feeling confident, you're feeling motivated, and the rest of your day is just going to be that much better, especially if you're using those affirmations. And also, when you work out in the morning, you're more likely to make healthier choices throughout the rest of the day, usually. And so that can help with your nutrition as well. So I suggest you work out in the morning. Some people, it just doesn't work out for them. They need to work out at night. And that's totally okay if you can commit to that and follow through with it on a consistent basis. And if you're brand new to working out, brand new to starting a program, you don't have to hit, balls to the wall and work out 7 days a week. You can start out working 2 or 3 days a week. Just make sure you plan what days and what times and follow through with it. When you consistently work out 2 to 3 days a week, add in another workout and work out 3 or 4 times a week, and then increase that until you're working out 6 days a week and getting in some rest on 1 day a week, like Sunday, or some active rest on Sundays. All right, I think that's about all I wanted to share with you guys about fitness. Let me look through my notes really quick. All right, so one thing I wanted to say, if you feel like you love your program, you're doing what you're supposed to do with your program, you're increasing weights, you're doing HIIT, one thing to look at with regards to your workout is how hard are you working out really? Like, honestly, how hard are you working out? Have you gotten comfortable with your workouts? And so you don't really push yourself anymore. You just go through the motions. You probably wouldn't even need to look at the TV because you know what you're supposed to do during this workout. That's a sign that you need to change things up, try a new program to get excited again, or that you need to realize, that you're not pushing yourself anymore because you got comfortable with your program. And it's time to take it up a notch and push yourself. At the end of your workout, you want to feel hot and sweaty and breathless, like you couldn't carry on a conversation, not hard to breathe, but just breathless. And you want to feel like, I couldn't do another 5 minutes of that workout. I gave it my all. I gave it my best. I got in a good workout. That's the sign that you're working out hard enough. And something I notice some people do is they think about the workout they have the next day, and maybe that workout's even harder, or it has some moves that you absolutely hate, like burpees. And so you'll take it easy today because tomorrow is going to be hard. Don't do that either. Think about today only. Push yourself in today's workout as hard as you can. And then tomorrow, think about the workout that day. And then again, push yourself as hard as you can. And don't ever be comfortable with your workouts, your lifting, your cardio. If you get comfortable, you need to change things up. Let's see here. So another thing is to not only focus on weight loss, make goals with regards to your fitness program. So like I said, women especially, we go up and down in our weight, we bloat during certain times of the month. Some of us are really sensitive to sodium, high sodium foods, and so we bloat. Maybe you don't go to the bathroom every day, and so your weight fluctuates. So it's really important to make other goals aside from just weight loss. Weight loss, standing on the scale is a good way to track your progress. Weighing yourself only once a week, never more than that, or maybe even every other week or once a month. And so you don't get frustrated with it, and take your measurements. Always take your measurements, because a lot of times your measurements will show progress when your weight doesn't. But what you also should do is make goals with your workouts. So if you're starting a brand new program and it's really hard and it's a 30-minute program and you feel like, God, I can't even get through 15 minutes of this thing. Well, that's okay. Make a commitment to get through 15 minutes of that workout today. Tomorrow, 16 minutes. The next day, 17 minutes. And your goal can be to get to 20 minutes by the end of the week. And then the next week, 25 minutes by the end of the week. And then the next week, your goal is to do the full program. And then your next goal can be that you don't follow the modifications in those workouts unless they're for a specific injury or something. And so your next goal can be to not have to always follow those modifications. So another goal can be to not miss a workout in 3 weeks or 4 weeks. So these are other goals you can make with regards to your fitness that will lead to the weight loss. So you're not only focusing on what the scale says. And so in addition to that, make sure you're focusing on the small wins. Don't just think, oh my God, I have 80 pounds to lose. It's going to take forever. It's going to take months. It's going to take a year. Don't think about that. Think about the little small wins that you're making right now. Like, you stay hydrated all day and you drink the amount of ounces you were supposed to drink every day this week. You didn't miss a workout this week. You ate clean all week long. You turned somebody down for that muffin they offered you at work. That's a small win. You cut back on drinking your soda. All these little things are small wins. You accepted a compliment from somebody without turning it around and saying, no, this is just, we're really bad at accepting compliments, right? So that can be a win for you. Lots of these little things can be wins because they're going to lead ultimately to that 80 pounds that you want to lose. And it feels a lot less frustrating if you focus on these little steps you can make in the meantime. And so basically, with nutrition and your routine, it's get back to basics. A lot of people do a program like say 21-day fix, for example, and then they start to mix in other programs, and they're like doing a hybrid of something between two different programs, or instead of just doing the 21-day fix workouts, they're also doing these other things on the side. And sometimes you just have to get back to basics and quit all the making up your own routine and all of that, and following a routine that a professional trainer made with a meal plan that a nutritionist made, you know, and with support from somebody like me. Sometimes you just need to follow the basics and stick with it, and that's where you get the best results. So if you're not tracking your nutrition and your fitness, like I've been talking a lot about, if you're not tracking exactly what's going in your mouth every single day, if you're not tracking what workouts you're doing, at what intensity you're doing them, for how long you're doing them, you can't really honestly know if you're on a plateau or if there's some tweaks that you need. If you're not tracking things, you're not going to see what needs to be fixed so that you can start to make progress again. So that is it for talking about workouts and fitness today. Share in the comments below one thing that stuck out to you, that you connected with, one thing that you think you're going to implement that you're going to try and work on. You know, if I give you 20 different tips in these videos, I don't want you to turn around and try and incorporate all 20 different tips. That will overwhelm you. Pick one or two things that, you know, hit home with you that you think you need to work on, and work on that first. And when you accomplish that, add in some other things that you can start working on as well. So in the comments below, let me know what stood out to you. Let me know what tip from these last 3 videos so far, what things you're putting into action right now. That's the most important thing, is to not just watch these videos and take notes on these videos and then let your notebook collect dust. The most important thing with videos like this or with personal development is you turn right around and you say, what actions can I take from what I learned today, and I'm going to start doing those things tomorrow. So share in the comments what actions you're taking right now from the last 3 videos. And tomorrow I will talk about healthy detoxes, so that if you really indeed are on a plateau, or you really just need that motivation with some weight loss up front to get you motivated to keep going, that's an option as well. We'll talk about that tomorrow. I'll talk to you guys later.